Thomas by Unanimous decision here with Paulin down at Morrison's gym. Obviously got your British title fight at the end of the month. Looking forward to it?
Yeah, really excited. It's always been a dream of mine to fight for one of the three major titles, so this is finally it. All the hard work I've put in over the years, and I always just it's my time in the spotlight, you know.
Yeah.
I do think I'll do it. Like, I'm really excited about it.
York Hall as well. It's not a bad place to
York Hall, yeah, the Mecca, British boxing, a very historic place. That's another thing as well. I've always really wanted to box there, so everything seems to be lining up. You know, we can fight for the British title in the York Hall, down in London, and that. So that's amazing. Like,
yeah. Obviously, Ryan Walsh is your opponent. Experienced fighter.
Yeah, he's experienced. He's a strong champion. He's held it for a few years now, and he's had several defences. But I'm definitely a strong challenger as well, so it's certainly not. It's a lot closer than I think people might know.
As you said, he's sort of defended it for I think like something like near 3 years or something. So. Be the first person to do it if you didn't do it for a while.
Yeah, I've obviously watched a lot of his fights as well and seen where people have gone wrong or where they've let it slip away and that, and I've watched guys do well against him as well. So he's definitely there to be beat. Like, I know like there's quite a lot of him to watch, whereas there's very little of me. Like, I don't think he'll know that much about me, so I'm hoping to sort of catch him off guard a bit. And as for like with him, I've seen pretty much everything that he's got over the years. He's obviously he's putting punch. He's good ring management. You know, he controls it well. You can see all the strong things, but there's things he's got weaknesses as well, and like patterns. So I'm hoping to obviously exploit them. That's the aim anyway.
I was going to say where do you see yourself getting the edge, but I guess just that you've seen the sort of.
Yeah, I've studied him, so you study him and you look for things and you think, right, that works well against him or whatever. He switch hits as well, so he's obviously boxes orthodox and southpaw, so I need to bear that in mind. Like, he's constantly switching, but my fight against Stephen Tiffany, he was a switch hitter as well, and I didn't really mind that too much. It's fine for me. Like, you're used to it, you know what I mean? If you spar people that are southpaw and orthodox, you do get used to it.
Yeah. When I speak to people that don't normally watch the footage, how comes you fancy sort of like scouting them out, I guess?
I do think you should research them a bit, like, definitely.
Yeah.
I think that's a big thing. You visualise it as well. You visualise, like, there's a lot of things you gain from just researching them and studying how they fight and their patterns and everything like that. Even like, you do want to know what their strong and their weaknesses are, their strengths and their weaknesses.
Yeah. Obviously speaking about it just before off camera, but it's been a year, just over a year since your last fight. What's the particular reason sort of behind that?
I did have a wee bit of hand, like a problem with one of my hands, and then I was working a lot as well. I was in like a shutdown, so I was busy with work, so I couldn't commit to like a full training camp, but I was still in and out of the gyms like when I could, but I never had the free time to commit to like an actual fight. But since the new year, I've been in the gym the whole time pretty much. And there was a couple of close calls where we were almost getting good fights and that, but then it fell through for one reason or another, and then we got wind of this and it was spoke about for a while, so I was training like mad hoping it would come through, and finally got the great news that it was going ahead. So after that it's just all systems go really, and it's been 100% the whole time. Only a few weeks left and then I get to go down and fight in the York Hall.
Yeah. I was going to say he's probably the home fighter, like, because he's not from London, I don't think, but
yeah, he's English and he's boxed us like loads of times as well. So I think he would be treating him as the home fighter. It's an MTK promotion as well. So yeah, but that doesn't really faze me. Like, I'm travelling down to London, I know I'm not going to be a local. But I've got good support coming down. I've got quite a few folk coming down, like, which is good.
Yeah. Just to get the sort of the fight date, obviously that year when you've not been able to sort of get back into the ring, like, it must have been sort of...
It's quite boxing, like, you hear fighters saying it can be quite political and frustrating, and that there's a lot of variables that can get in the way of, like, he's fighting, and regardless, even if you are fit and in shape and no injuries, like, there's all these other things, like, they can stop you from boxing, but it's all good just now, so I'm just enjoying it.
Obviously, I think the British featherweight has been held a few times by Scots over the years. You've John Simpson, Scott Harrison.
Yeah, Paul Appleby from Edinburgh as well. Was one of the youngest. I don't know. Was it the featherweight he won? Super featherweight. But there's been quite a few, so I'd like to join that list, and there's good names in that list as well.
I was going to say it's some good calibre.
Yeah, definitely.
It's obviously, you sort of said it as well, one of the main belts to win, and you've been sparring Cash. I know he's obviously had the belt, and
another Scottish British champion, Cash Farouk. He's I sparring him of Scottish fighters. Well, I'm sparring a lot of different guys, obviously. But it's down in England as well. So sparring, you have to spar the top people for this sort of level. Like, you're limited to who and where you can spar, because it's obviously such a high standard. It's not there's not that many guys that you can, and you need some similar sort of styles as well. Like Brian Walsh isn't a big rangy, like, negative fighter. He's more presses it. He's shorter, stronger, so you want to try and get folk more styled to that. And obviously switch hits as well. So
I think you said just as well before going down to Doncaster for a bit of sparring.
I was training. I was sparring a lot with Rhys Mould, who's got an English title coming up. He's a really good boy, and as well, obviously Josh Warrington and all that trained down there as well. I wasn't sparring with him, but he was training alongside them and that. So it's some gym to be in, next to world champions, and there's loads of other big names that were in there as well, but it's not really my place to say who's sparring who and all that.
It's all a bit like still being around those sort of guys.
It does. It's rubbing shoulders with champions and that, so it's a great place to be, a great environment. You also see all the press and, like, the other side of boxing, you know what I mean? Like, you obviously understand how the training goes, but then this is like a much bigger scale. You've got press, you've got everybody there, like, it's quite hectic.
Yeah. Could be a sort of gateway for yourself to that sort of...
that'd be a dream. This is it though, this is the breakthrough fight that I need, that would put me into the, into that level, and give you some, well, sort of like clout about you. You've got a British title, you've got quite a big say, you can opens doors to everywhere.
Sort of just been waiting for that opportunity as well. Obviously,
it's
a while since that Scottish title.
You do. But all fighters do. It's not like this. Is not just me that's had to wait. Like, there's a lot of fighters have to wait till they get the opportunity. And when the opportunity comes, you just have to try and grab it with both hands.
Yeah, for sure. Did you think about getting sort of like a takeover fight at all before this one, or just?
I didn't have any time until January when we were speaking about we were going to box. When was it? Maybe about 4 weeks ago, but then it became too close to the date of this fight. I didn't really want to risk anything with hand injuries, and I have had that bother, like I said before, with my hands, and I didn't want to risk that for when I've spent my whole boxing career for an opportunity like this. It wouldn't make sense to risk it for that move around with a journeyman. I was still been sparring like top, like world class people, and I reckon that you gain more from top class sparring than you would for a move around with a journeyman. But so it's not like I haven't. I have been sparring top folk, but I just I did. We didn't. It was too close. It was 4 weeks, I think, from this date. It was the Alec Marsden show a few weeks back. So that was the opportunity to box. It was just a bit.
It's like 5 or 6 weeks out.
It was way too close to this.
You get cut on the eye or something.
Exactly. If you got cut or any injuries, then that's this, and this has been like a dream of mine. I would never risk it.
I normally ask people as well when I do these sort of interviews, but how did you get into boxing originally?
Well, I'm originally from Eyemouth in the Scottish borders, and there wasn't really a boxing club for about 60 miles or something, so I never boxed all my younger days until I was about 18, and then my work sent me down to Portsmouth, and I was doing my apprenticeship, so I started on a boxing club, Fairham Boxing Club, down there for a couple of years, and I realised I was quite good at it, and then came back to Scotland and started boxing up in Edinburgh, and then I did some internationals for Scotland as well. I quickly won tournaments, and then got some internationals in that, and realised I was getting really quite good at it, so I thought I could go professional. And then obviously the professionals, I've signed with Alex Morrison the whole time since I've been pro, and I've kept my old amateur coach John McCarran. He was the amateur coach, but he's got a lot of experience as well in the professionals. He's done 2 world title fights with Ricky Barnes and all that, like in his corner, so he knows his stuff with boxing. So I turned professional with him and Alex, and then we're to this stage now where we're fighting for the British title. So it's quite amazing to think, because I started quite late. I started like when I was 18, so just over 10 years I went from never lacing up a glove to fighting for one of the major titles.
For sure. Did you watch so much boxing when you were younger, or was it just?
I didn't like it. There wasn't an option in me to box. Like, I wish I'd done it when I was younger, and if there was a club down my way, then I would have. But literally the year I moved away from the borders, they opened up a boxing club about 7 miles away. Churnside Amateur Boxing Club it's called, and they opened that up right after I moved away. That was bad timing for me, but nah, it's good. Some journey so far, so.
What made you want to go pro with it? Like you were sort of saying there. But
style. Like I was quite like a pressure fighter, and the amateurs before they changed the amateurs as well. I've not really had much luck with anything. They changed the amateurs, but now suits more my style. But it used to be point scoring, remember, and the point scoring. I'd had a really good amateur record. Like I hardly ever got beat, and the point scoring, no, I didn't really like it as much. I prefer the round scoring, like it suits my style. And I also preferred the endurance, as in like the professionals is like 10 and 12 rounders, where the amateurs is like a sprint. It's much quicker, And so the professionals would definitely suit me. It's a bit rougher, tougher as well, so it's more like my sort of style of fighting.
Is there anything sort of surprised you with the pro ranks at all, or has it been as you sort of expected it to be?
Nah, I think there has been like things that surprise you. It's really is hard going. Like on your, it's everything. Like road work, it's like so much more intense than the amateurs. Like the top amateurs, they train like professionals, but it's no quite. There is a difference. Just the way the fighting is. It's a lot rougher. Like it's dirtier. It's the gloves are different. Like everything's harder going on you. Like it takes a much more toll on your body, like compared to the amateurs. Like I think in the amateurs, I never once had a hand injury in 7 years, and then in the professionals, I've had them in one in every other fight, basically. And things like that. So.
You were also talking about you having the job earlier on. Tough sort of juggling them both.
Yeah, but I managed to get like unpaid leave and everything for this fight, so I have trained full time for it, which makes a big difference. Just the rest, and like I was doing similar training, but I wasn't getting the free time to relax and recover as well, and that it helps a lot when you're training full time. But you need like a lot of sponsors and backing for that as well. It's It's not as easy as like I've got a flat and I have like bills and stuff like that. I do need to earn money. I can't just. I need to work, or I need to have like sponsors, but it's not that fortunate to just be able to stay at my mum's and
yeah, aye, stay under her roof and get pay the bills.
Aye, but yeah, nah, it's I'm in a good position. I've got a good job in that as well. It's not like it's quite a good. Like I work for EDF Energy, so they're a good company to work for and that. And it's not like backbreaking work like on farms or on fishing boats or anything, which I've done in the past. So that helps as well.
How did you get into the EDF Energy then? From those sort of.
Well, I finished school and I ended up working on a fishing boat, and then did that for about a year or whatever, and then I worked on the farms for a year, and then I applied for an apprenticeship for EDF Energy, and they sent me to Portsmouth, and that's when I started the boxing. I was 18, started boxing down there because there was a club nearby, and I thought, oh, well, I've always wanted to box, so I just started up, and then straight away went into boxing. And it didn't really take me long to get my first fight, and then I should finish my apprenticeship, become an electrician, and then I've sort of juggled the two, electrical and work together. Boxing, so the electrical and boxing. So.
Do you remember the first fight at all?
Aye, the first fight. It was at South Sea, I think it's called in Portsmouth. It was like a Navy show. And they had like a dinner sort of show, and I didn't even have a clue what to expect of that. I went to the boxing club, but the boxing club had moved premises, so they were currently just in a hall, and they didn't even have a ring, so it was just like, cones. And so I'd never even stepped in a boxing ring before until I went in for my first fight.
Step up from the
that was funny. I forgot about that. That was the first time I'd been in a ring, was the first fight.
How'd it go?
I lost on a split.
No,
but it was quite it was really close, like, and there's a few folk came up to me afterwards and says that because it was a local boy, and because it was a Navy show, I was fighting a Navy guy, and I lost on a split, so you could understand it was obviously a close fight, but that was the first time. I won the next one after that.
Yeah. You were saying there as well, just being able to train full time for this one. Is this the first time you sort of had the full time?
Aye, my work were quite good with them in a couple of my other fights, and they were giving me like a few days off a week to travel for sparring and that. But this one's just been completely full time. They've sponsored me some time off, and I took some unpaid leave in that as well. So it's just like all training basically, training, rest, a little bit eating.
I guess for a lot of fighters, like just being able to fully commit yourself makes a massive difference.
It does make a big difference. But if you win this British and that, it can change a lot of things, you know.
Yeah. If people are looking for tickets and stuff, what's the best way to get them for?
They can contact me if they've got tickets. There's a few left. I've not got that many left actually, but yeah, if people are wanting tickets and that, they can just contact me through either social media or however, like through Alex.
You're obviously saying as well about sponsors, getting a big help for sort of getting you into this position.
Yeah, definitely. I've had EDF were helping me, and then there's a company, Sawn Tooling Company in Edinburgh. They've helped me for a couple of years now. A guy called David Sparham and Michael Henry as well. Builders local at Imhoff sort of area. They've all been good with me. And you get physios as well. Like that's another big benefit to going professional, is the physios, and that seem to treat you in S&C boys. So Murray Collier was the physiotherapist, and the S&C boys have got the Edinburgh Fitness Solutions. I'll do a lot of work with them, and a guy called Ian Wren as well helps me out. So you start building like a big team of obviously John's my boxing coach as well, and it starts growing the team, and then I'm really happy with the team. It's good. They have good relationships with them all as well.
Good stuff. Last thing before I let you go, prediction for the fight? How do you see it panning out?
I think it's going to go the distance. I think I'll beat him on points. I think that's what will happen.
Good stuff. Get down to the bookies with that then, people.
I know, because I think you'll get good odds.
Good stuff. Well, listen, thanks for your time, Lewis, and if I don't catch you before, best of luck for your fight.
Thanks, Alan.